Welcome to Endless Purgatory. This is episode 4 of this journey. My name is Tim Deeps IOC. Before we get started, the first thing I want to do is let you know that this podcast this episode is going to be every Monday, every week, every Monday, I'm going to post an episode. So I'm going to let you know now so that way I can go ahead and commit to that because I've already said it now. It's out there. So every Monday I will post an episode. All my socials are in the description. I post them. Feedback, always, of course, is always appreciated. So if you want to do that, you can either send it to me on Facebook or Twitter, either one. Doesn't matter. It's the only way I'll know how you view the content, how you want to, how the content, what do you pull from it? So that's the only way I'll know. The only way you know something is if you say it. It's just how things work. Anyway, so the topics of this discussions today is going to be hurt, depression, and healing. I know this is something that people process throughout the day. This is something that people deal with on a regular basis all the time anyway. Depend on the situation, depend on what you got going on in life. This is something that's a regular. People are constantly hurt by something, whether it be physically, emotionally. People are constantly depressed about something. And on a positive note, people do heal from these things. But it takes the right people. It takes the right person. It takes the right mindset too. That's another one. So before I deep dive into all of them, the first one I want to get into was hurt. And hurt is a big one. Hurt usually is the starting process. Hurt's usually where it all begins. Like that first feeling of, when you felt wrong. It could be all the way back when you was a child. You could be like, it could be when you felt hurt about somebody taking your candy away from you when you knew you've been waiting on her to get it. That's hurt could come from different levels, and that's petty hurt. That's like, okay, I'll get over it type hurt. But no, we're talking about a type of hurt that really cuts deep. Like your parents, having a different view set on your parents, seeing them in some kind of way, and maybe your mom did you wrong, or your dad did you wrong, and it just puts you somewhere different. Or a friend you were close to, and y'all have all this time built together, and all of a sudden those ties are severed, and y'all don't even see the same way I used to anymore. That connection is broken. Or most of the time it's relationships. Two people get together and they see things eye to eye, and maybe something that one felt they wanted them to be consistent on, or something that they just didn't expect because they see things the same way all the time. It's been the same thing forever. And then something happens and it just drastically changes everything that happens, and it's almost unrecoverable. And at times it could be from loss, and they're not always in a sense of loss, like you lost someone from a passing, but it could be that you lost someone that you may hold dear to. It could be somebody that you viewed as important, and maybe y'all just don't see eye to eye anymore, or maybe y'all just haven't heard from each other in a long time, or maybe y'all just both too just waiting on the ice to break to make that phone call to call them back. But either case, a lot of times it is the case of someone passing, and those are the ones that people deal with a lot. Some people still haven't recovered from losing someone that they felt real close to them. And it's hard for anybody. It can be hard for anybody. And that's a hurt you can either learn to deal with, or learn to want to change something about that, or maybe grow to accept. And I say that, but I'm not trying to be unsympathetic about how people feel for somebody that has lost someone. Most of us has lost someone in some kind of capacity in all different ranges. So I'm not trying to come off like I'm not being considerate about that. But people deal with it. People deal with it so differently. And I don't want to get too deep into that, because just people do deal with it. People are dealing with it their own way. People have a process that they're doing. But no, I want to take hurt and find out, like what is it, what is it truly, and what can we do to resolve it. But first we got to do is know what caused it. Like I said, from the examples earlier, on top of those, hurt takes time to process. Hurt can make you feel like hurt can put you in a state of shock. Like, for example, hurt can make you feel like, if like you just know, like no, they'll never do that. I'm not worried about that. They'll never. And then it happens, and you're just like, and you're just there, and you're like, they really did it. They really, really did it. That hurt could turn into pain, like real physical pain. That hurt can lead into anger. Anger can lead into retaliation, revenge. It just spirals. It could just put you in a really dark place, a really, really dark place. Hurt can also lead into isolation. You may feel like you want to just be by yourself. You don't even want to deal with anybody. Maybe you're embarrassed. Maybe you don't want nobody to know that you're hurt, that you deal with things alone, and that what you're dealing with mentally, you don't want nobody to know. You just rather be hurt by yourself. And then you walk around and they're like everything's fine, but it really isn't. You could feel like I did it to myself. You start beating yourself up and feel like this would have never happened if it wasn't for me. And it's those like hurt, it just all goes downhill from there. It's like you just start processing the worst. I mean, it inflicts pain on levels that's more undescribable than words, depending on what happened. And you just know you want to do something. Like that hurt feeling it just puts something in you, just like something has to happen. Or why did this have to happen? Well, I can't let this just happen. I can't just deal with this. There's no way. There's different ways you can do it. You just have to think wisely about which one and where you want to go as far as dealing with it. Do you want to take that and just get the person back? Sure, yeah. You get them back, and then what? It still happened. Okay? It still happened. And it's just what it's going to do. Negativity only feeds more negativity. And you're constantly going to be watching your back about the next thing and the next thing. The next thing is going to happen because you just continue the same process. Now, the thing about where hurt takes you is that where it leads to. And that, depending on where you've been at in life or where what it may do to you, it can lead into some forms of depression, which is what my next topic I want to get into. And depression is a whole other monster. Depression is a completely different monster. Depression, it just takes you down a road of just endless purgatory. it just takes you down endless nothingness. Just you don't want to deal with anybody. You don't want to talk to anybody. And a lot of people won't even show it. A lot of people won't even show the person. Some people are different. Some people walk around and they're kind of mopey and they're like, what's wrong, man? I'm good. I'm just, got a lot going on, you know. And some people are depressed and you will not even know what's going on. Like, just be going around happy, smiling, everything. They get back to themselves and they just going through it. They may get home and just bawl and just let everything go. And that might be some of the reasons why you may have got, that maybe you try to call them and didn't pick up. Maybe they were just going through so much at one time they just couldn't even bother to even move to pick up the phone. Sometimes some people won't even catch somebody that's actually going through something, and it said that because they're so good, they've been so good at hiding it for so long that they just you will never even see it. It takes somebody that's gone through depression a lot of times to really see somebody that's going through it. That's really, just going through it in life. Some people can feel it. Some people can feel like, damn, like what's going on? I haven't heard from so and so long. I wonder what's going on. A lot of times by that time it's kind of too late. And sometimes it does take that one person to finally reach out and be like, hey, I'm just calling to check up on you. Some people just don't understand how important that is these days. Some people really don't understand how important that, hey, I'm just calling. Hey, I'm just texting to. Hey, I just want to know if things are okay. I think people really truly forgot about the value of that. As much as people have their phones on them all day, you mean to tell me when you took the time to make that one post, you couldn't take that same time to reach out to somebody close to you or that valued you as close to them? Okay. And it only leads to more depression. It leads to them feeling, more or less about themselves. Like, damn, I guess they really don't care. I guess they're really not worried about what I'm going through. And not everybody is so direct with what they have going on. I mean, as much some people may expect. Or it's at the same time, maybe they do expect you because you were always that way. But if they sat down to notice that, hey, they haven't been doing this, or they just notice the patterns. Depression comes with a lot of patterns. It comes with a lot of changed habits sometimes. It comes with just low energy. You don't have the energy to want to do anything. You don't want to feel like you don't feel like doing nothing. You just like, I'm just gonna chill. Like, I'm just gonna sit here. I'm not really in the mood to do anything. You don't it just Depression can make you feel like the world is moving around you and you just kind of there. Like, you just be aimlessly staring into space and you just feel like the world just keeps going and you just like, you know what? Like, does it even, like, it just takes you down a road of like, does it even matter whether, like, people don't even, not even notice? And, you know, and some people, they take light of it. Some people haven't been through it. They take light of it and they say like, like, oh man, you'll be all right. Man, cheer up. Like, no, it's not that simple. And maybe somebody, you could tell, it's like, you could tell somebody's really going through it. Like, maybe they're irritable. Maybe they're just so irritated. Maybe they don't even know how to even say that they're depressed. Maybe some people don't even realize that they're dealing with something. And until it's too late, until they just sit in there almost lifeless, just there, like a shell of what they once were. And you got people that's unsympathetic, that don't even think, that don't even, you just stop to realize, like, hey, there might be something really, really wrong. And maybe my approach is just not working. It's just really not working. And I need to figure something out. If you truly care about somebody, if you truly do care about somebody, stop and just analyze what's really going on and how to go about it. Because how they're feeling is so delicate. Anything could make them shut down, lock up, and just be like, you know what? It's nothing. It's okay. I'm good. You know what? Don't even worry about it. I'll be all right. I'll deal with it. Those people you have to watch out for. And you have to understand that you can't just go about it the way you feel like you should be going. Like, man, get over it. Like, man, you deal with it. No, everybody's different. Everybody's so different. And some can say, like, oh, well, shit, that's them. They'll be all right until something happens. And then they're like, damn, they must have really been going through it. No shit, motherfucker. No shit. No shit, right? No shit. And then the thing about it, people don't think about it, is like, okay, that same person that you looked at and you said, they'll be all right. That could be you the next day. Don't never say what you want. No, I'll never be like that. I'll never get like that. You never know. You never know what may hit you in life. You never know what may hit you in life. It just make you feel just useless sometimes. And you never know if you pushing that person, or you feeling like they should get over what they're getting over with, and they should just be happy. You don't know if you just push them over the edge. You don't even know if you'll see that person the next day. It's important to handle a person that's dealing with something akin to how they need to be treated. It requires patience. It requires understanding. And that doesn't require people saying, we don't get like that. You don't get like that. People don't. You ain't depressed, but you're not depressed. You just going through something. You'll get over it. No, it's really not that simple. It's really not that simple. And the first thing you don't want to do is take your situation. Like, people deal with it on different levels. Don't take your situation and make it like, well, shit, I've been like, I done dealt with this. So, see, and sometimes it's how you say it. And it's sometimes it's the person that's dealing with it, that using you as an example for somebody else, how it may treat somebody, or what they may take from it. You telling somebody about what they went through doesn't equal they should just feel better. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't say like, hey, well, it could be worse. Yeah, but okay, be sympathetic to how they're feeling at that time. Not putting what you was feeling on the forefront to make what they're feeling seem less. I think people miss that sometimes. They really miss that. It's not about you. It's about them. It's about that person dealing with that at that moment. Be considerate. If you really want them to heal, be considerate. And with that being said, let's talk about how to heal that. But before we do, please listen to this quick sponsor ad. I appreciate it. Thank you. And I would like to thank Anchor for allowing me to use this platform. I really wanted to get into where when you start the healing process. You say you're going through something. Say you went through something, and it's a long road ahead, and you finally get to the part where it starts to get to that turning point of feeling better, or trying to feel better, or maybe you got a little boost. You got that boost of energy that you didn't have for a while. That's healing. That's where the process starts of feeling better or getting over what you've been dealing with. That healing shouldn't come from anything that isn't natural. It shouldn't come from pain from others. You can't heal that way. That's not how healing works. You may feel better. Some people may feel better by feeling like they did something to somebody, got them back. How I feel better. No, you're gonna still keep thinking about it. Trust. The process can be very slow. It can take a while. It won't be tomorrow. It won't be next week. It won't be next year sometime. It could be anytime. You could just know that once it starts, keep doing what you're doing to keep it going. And don't allow yourself to be brought down by what got you there in the first place. And for some, that healing really won't even start until you learn how to open up about it. You know, you may everybody initially wants to just deal with it themselves because you feel like it's me, right? I should be able to get over this. So I could deal with it. I could do no. I'm gonna go ahead and stop you now. Some have a strong mind. Maybe they could actually do it. They could just wake up and be like, okay, I'm all right. Some require assistance. Some require maybe somebody that may have gone through it also. And some require somebody to just kind of they may want a level of I didn't have to ask you, you just did it for me. They want to feel like somebody cared about them. They just want somebody to care. That could be male or female. Both could feel the same way. Like you could easily get it, say like, hey, or women look for that attention, or they look for this, they look for this hint to say like, hey, I just want to see that. No, sometimes men look for it too. Just like how men love to feel appreciated about stuff. That could start a healing process. If you're a woman that never felt like, like he's a man, he shouldn't have to worry about. No, men like to hear like, hey, thanks, babe. Thank you for doing this. Or I appreciate you for doing this. All the time. It's motivating. It keeps us going. Just like women like to hear like men to notice that they got their hair done, or they got their nails done, or they may got their toes done a specific pattern, or they may have did their eyebrows, and they want you to see how that's done. They want you to notice certain things. It's important because you not saying something to that person about that may put them right back to where they started in the first place. And sure, you could say like, it shouldn't be something that's so simple that, it's something that's so simple that can fix a lot of big problems that people fail to realize to this day. It's so easy. It's so easy to maintain something so small to keep things going great. Healing leads to a lot of things positive. It's almost like just how depression and hurt can lead to things just keep going in a downward spiral. Healing, once you get to the point where you're getting over things, that things starts to go up, and they just continue to go up as long as you keep going forward in what you're feeling. Bring in more of the people, or bring in more of the things that's actually positive, not distractions. Mind you, not distractions. Distractions do not heal. They only bottle the problem. They only put it to the side. They only put your mind to a position of, hey, I'm just using this to get my mind off of what I got going on. No, that's not fixing nothing at all. It's not fixing nothing. It's only causing more of the problem, because all you did was take your problems and put it into a little box, and you're gonna keep it there. And then once you're feeling bad again, you're gonna go back in that box and open it up again just to see what's in there. You might fall in that motherfucker and get stuck one day. Anyway, any positive source can be used for healing. making someone not feel alone. Having somebody that's for you in a sense of, like saying, hey, we should do this, or matter of fact, asking that person what they feel like doing. Maybe asking them what they want to do, not what you think they should do. How, hey, we should go do this, or hey, we should go do that, or you remember when we used to go do this? What do you want to do? Those questions are important. Positivity can also come from a temporary source. And if that healing may come from a person that you might not even expect, or a thing that you might not even expect it to come from. You might have seen, let's say it was a person at work, right? And you never talked to that person. And at that moment, they spoke up out of nowhere, out of the blue. That person finally spoke up and said, like, hey, I see you all the time, but and that may start, it might start a conversation from there. Or it may be a thing, it may be an object. I mean, you might have found out, like, I like riding go-karts all of a sudden. And that might be what's gearing you towards being a better person. Now you done found something that you're into. Maybe you write. Maybe you want to read. Maybe you're into history. Maybe you want to learn more about your ancestors. It's just something that actually starts a building process. That's the most important thing. That healing process has to be something that is like, it grows like a tree, like it just starts from a root and it just expands at the branches, at the top. Not something that's just gonna go somewhere and be stagnant and it's just there. And I think people just fail to realize that. They won't even try. They want to just like, well, just this is what's been working for so long, so I'm gonna just keep doing it. No. Like all things, just because you've done things for something for so long doesn't mean it's right. And that's a rabbit hole I don't want to go into, but that's actually another topic for another day. But that's just because you've been doing it for so long doesn't mean it's right. Just keep that in mind. Better to make it right. Healing can come from it. Sometimes it can come from the source that caused you pain. In some special cases, maybe it's something that from somebody that you loved, and not just in a relationship, but maybe as a person, and you didn't want to see them go. And I mean in the sense of, they're no longer here. And it maybe took you years to just go out and just see where they are, where they're located, where their site is located. And you finally take that step out there and you just talk and you just get out all the stuff, because all the stuff that you've been going through at that moment. A lot of times just vocalizing or being comfortable to vocalize what you've been going through can heal, can put you in a state of weightlessness. Like you just don't feel those weights on your shoulders anymore. You don't feel that build up in your chest. You don't feel that. It just starts to just slowly leak out and you just feel light. And you feel like it's just so, like you can move, like you can breathe better. I can jump a little bit higher. And it feels good when it does happen. And it will happen to anybody that's ever gone through something. It does get better and it will get better. And it's easy to say, like, well, you say that now, but no, it does. It got to get better. And that's how you have to look at it. Look, I'm going through what I'm going through, but it got to get better. It's got to get better than this, because it has to. It has to. There's no way around it. So look at whatever you're dealing with and say, this has to get better. It doesn't have to be like this. Why am I letting this continue to happen? I'm greater than the situation that I'm in. So I'm going to change it. So, with that being said, this has been episode 4 of Endless Purgatory. I want to appreciate everybody taking time out to listen. And so, like I said, all my information is in my description of this episode. Like I said, just comment, just leave feedback. I'd appreciate it. It doesn't take much. Let me know. But as always, stay safe, stay sane, and secure in your mind. Release.